Hello, everyone. Welcome to this virtual tour of SMU. I'm Claire Jansen, and I'm a junior from Cincinnati, Ohio, double majoring in psychology and health and society with a minor in human rights.
Hi, everybody. My name is Zaguera Tem. I'm a current sophomore from originally Wiley, Texas, double majoring in public policy and business management with minors in Arabic and law and legal reasoning.
All right, to get started, behind me you'll see our flagpole. That's the middle of campus, and it's kind of the hub of where a lot of things happen throughout the day. So here at SMU, we don't tailgate, we boulevard. And that means that before every home football game in the fall, we have the entire SMU community come out to SMU to celebrate our Mustangs. So from the very end of the boulevard at the SMU sign all the way up to the flag, and even past the flag all the way up to Dallas Hall, it's covered in white tents with different community members and student orgs and Greek life orgs that are coming out to kind of show their face and really get excited for that game. So you can come out, there's lots of free food, free drinks. One of the most fun parts of the boulevard is when our live mascot, Peruna, comes out and leads the band and the football team to the football stadium, and then everyone else walks behind them so that we can go watch the game. SMU students get free admission to all of our athletic events. You just have to request your ticket online. So that makes it really fun and really builds that community because we can all walk to the game together following our football team.
And then past the boulevard, we also have one of our major sports things. It's called Moody Coliseum, and this is where all of the Moody magic happens. This is where we get to see our basketball team and also our volleyball team play. And I always tell people, you might catch George Bush sitting courtside at one of these games. I always say, go say hi. Secret Service will not tackle you. But there's some other magic that does happen past the boulevard. Other than boulevard, we have two of our biggest traditions, one of those being Celebration of the Lights, which happens that Thursday that we get back from Thanksgiving break. And this is how we ring in the holiday season here at SMU. So we have a 40-foot Christmas tree that stands right behind us right there. And then we have Christmas lights that light up all of Dallas Hall and also all the trees down the boulevard. And then we listen to the Christmas story being read by President Turner, enjoy some performances by our Meadow students, and then also just enjoy the good weather that we do have here in Texas during December, and just kind of feel the spirit around campus right before final season. And then in the spring, we have what we call Peruna the Palooza. Even though we're the Mustangs here at SMU, we have a mascot named Peruna, who's a black Chevrolet pony. During football season, we don't get to see our mascot very often since he's running across the field. However, in the spring, we decided to throw an extravagant birthday party for Peruna. It's a little bit more for us than it is for Peruna, but we just enjoy this so much. And the really great thing is also right before final season to kind of just ease that stress just a little bit. And then as we kind of go on to Dallas Hall, some other student orgs decide to throw some events here. Some of the biggest events that we have is some called Midnight Market, which some of our student orgs throw on this campus. We also have Diwali, which one of our cultural orgs also does celebrate. So we do have and utilize this lawn a lot. You might see some people sitting here having a picnic or sitting in hammocks or being able to just walking their dogs. It's always full of life, no matter if it's getting out of class or just enjoying a little meal out here.
And now moving into Dallas Hall itself. Dallas Hall is the oldest buildings on campus. Back in 1911, when SMU was founded, it was one of the only buildings that was here. Obviously, our campus has grown a lot since then, but we still hold a lot of tradition in Dallas Hall because of the history there. And one of the biggest traditions relates to the seal. So when you walk up the steps into Dallas Hall, right when you get inside, you'll see a big seal on the ground. And we're a little bit superstitious here at SMU and say that if you step on the seal, you won't graduate in 4 years. We don't know if it's 3.5 or 7, but no one likes to risk it. During Stampede, which is going to be your orientation the weekend before you start your freshman year, you and all of your fellow incoming students will walk in the back doors of Dallas Hall, walk around that seal, and walk out the front door, signifying your entrance into the SMU community. And then on graduation day, after you've graduated, you and all your fellow graduates will walk in those front doors, step on the seal because you've graduated, so you want to celebrate it by stepping on that seal finally, and walk out those back doors, signifying your entrance into the SMU alumni community. Our SMU alumni community is really strong, and all past Mustangs really want to support our present and future Mustangs, which is one of my favorite things about SMU.
And then some other cool facts about Dallas Hall is that no matter what major you are, you will at least have one class here before you graduate. And that just signifies how we hold these traditions true to us here at SMU. Also, it's one of the tallest buildings on campus. This is what we mean when we say we're here on the Hilltop.
Welcome to SMU. I'm Denobi Inakcha. I'm a senior from Germantown, Tennessee, majoring in health and society and minoring in psychology on the pre-med track.
Hi guys, my name's Kate Morales. I'm a senior from Edgewater, New Jersey, double majoring in public policy and economics with minors in Spanish and political science. And we're here to talk to you about getting involved today. We're in Hughes-Trigg right now, which is our student center here on campus. And I'd really say this is the hub for student involvement and just student life here on campus. So this is where you'll find our 200 plus student-led organizations in a number of offices right here on the second floor, as well as great places to grab a bite to eat at Chick-fil-A or our sushi restaurant, or maybe study or work with friends. But your student involvement here is going to start with something called Stampede. Stampede is our first year orientation process here at SMU. It happens in the days after you move in and before classes start. I, of course, participated in Stampede as a student, but also as a Stampede guide, which you can kind of think of as like a camp counselor for college orientation. I did that for 3 years, got super tight with my groups. It's a great way to get to know the organizations on campus and just the layout of it itself. And a huge part of that is something we have called Night at the Club, which is a giant club fair we have on our indoor practice football field. It'll pretty much be our 200 plus organizations in their merch and their stickers, telling you all about why you should join their organization. And it's how I got involved with a lot of the ones I'm still involved with to this day.
I just want to tell you a little bit today about the offices and the resources that we have in Hughes-Trigg related to those organizations. So some of the big organizations that I'm involved here on campus, I'm currently the president of my sorority, so I'm involved in Greek life. I'm also a former vice president of a service organization here on campus and a former president of one of our multicultural organizations here on campus. So through those organizations and those different offices here at Hughes-Trigg, I've been able to really get involved and meet people from all over campus in ways that would have never happened if I just, stayed to myself and was not involved and did not even attend Night of the Club or Stampede or things like that. So it's really helped to enhance my SMU experience, and we definitely recommend that you get involved and you come check out some of these offices here in Hughes-Trigg.
I've also gotten involved with service. I've been on our exec board for something called the Big Event here at SMU. It's the largest day of collegiate-led community service in the country. I'm also part of our student senate, a Dedman senator representing the School of the Humanities. There are so many ways to kind of shape your SMU experience, and there isn't just one version of that. It might be something like engaged learning, getting involved in research, interdisciplinary efforts, or it might be any of the kind of passion projects that you heard us talk about. I'm pretty sure if you asked any of our ambassadors on staff, you'd get completely different answers as to what organization has really just made SMU special. We're here to talk to you about academic life here at SMU. With our combined majors, we're both students of Dedman College, but there are 5 academic schools here at SMU. Dedman, Cox, Lyle, Meadows, and Simmons. And students can double major between those schools and find lots of different opportunities to pursue all their academic passions.
And on top of 5 undergraduate schools on campus, we also have a bunch of scholarship programs on campus. And in the building right next to us, Clemens Hall, is where we house all of our scholars programs and the Scholars Den. So the Scholars Den is really just a collaboration workspace. And since freshman year, I've hung out in the Scholars Den, not only just to sit and talk with friends, but to study, get some work done, meet my advisors. I know Kate here is a Hunt Scholar, and she's also gotten some really great use out of the Scholars Den.
Yeah, it's a great place to study, collaborate with people. Another really fantastic study resource is over at our Learning Enhancement Center, which students call the ALEC. That's over by our football stadium. It's a great way to get one-on-one help. Another great place to get one-on-one help, but for kind of a different part of your SMU life, is at the Heggie Career Center, which is right here in Hughes-Trigg. One thing I love about Heggie, of course, every university has a career center, but ours really meets you where you are. So whether that's writing a resume for the first time or perfecting one you already have, they're really just there to help you get prepared for that next stage of life. They've helped me find internships over the past 4 years I've been here, and with their help, I now have my post-grad plans for after I graduate SMU this May.
And although Heggie is just in Hughes-Trigg, it's open to all students, but within different academic schools, you also have a Cox version of Heggie, you have Lyle, and within Dedman for pre-health majors specifically, we have a pre-health advising office.
We're here to tell you a little bit about study spots on SMU's campus. Behind me, you'll see Fondren Library. This is our main library on campus and my personal favorite spot to study. In Fondren, there's lots of different vibes and you can find the best study spot for you. On the first floor, we have a Starbucks. It's a loud hangout group work space. You can go in, get some group projects done, see your friends in between classes. But then, as you go up floors, it gets quieter and quieter until you get to the top 4th floor, where it's completely silent. You could hear a pin drop. I'm sometimes scared to open my backpack in there. But I do love studying up there because it has floor-to-ceiling windows with a great view of the Dallas skyline. And one of my favorite things about studying on the 4th floor is when I can see a sunset over the Dallas skyline to really just give me extra motivation to get that work done.
And as we do also love Fondren, there's also other really niche and cool places to study here at SMU. One of those places being Dallas Hall Lawn, but also being some of the other libraries that we do have here across campus.
Today we're going to tell you a little bit about where we like to hang out when we're not in class. You'd most likely find me on Dallas Hall Lawn, hanging out with friends, maybe pretending to do homework. I keep a blanket in my car just for days that are this gorgeous.
And for me, I'm allergic to the outdoors, so you'll usually find me inside here in Hughes-Trigg, actually, in our multicultural office. And they have couches for people to sleep on. You know, me, I usually will take a nap. Also in our women and LGBTQ office, they also have couches and different study rooms that you'll find me with some of my friends, just relaxing, taking a quick break, grabbing a quick snack, eating my lunch. Another place that I love to hang out and chill throughout the day is Fondren Library. So usually when I walk through Fondren Library, I'll find at least one person that I know to sit and have a good conversation with, grab a coffee, and just relax before my next class or my next meeting.
Fondren is such a friendly space. I think people usually don't think that about libraries, that I actually met my roommate of 2 years there. We were introduced by a mutual friend, and after a 5-minute conversation, she became one of my best friends I've ever met at SMU. So these are all super social spaces where you can kind of unwind and maybe meet some new friends too.
Hi, welcome to SMU. Today we're going to be talking to you guys about the residential commons system that we have. My name is Blake Ephart. I'm a junior. I live in Valencia, California, and I study computer science and international studies.
And I'm Anna McDonald, a sophomore from Little Rock, Arkansas, studying corporate communications and public affairs on the pre-law track. So our residential commons system is unique to SMU. There are 11 residential commons, and there's a 2-year live-on requirement. Because we have a 2-year live-on requirement, SMU does its best to make this feel like a home and not just a dorm.
Another great thing about the residential commons system is that you are randomly sorted into one of 11. You get to meet people that you normally wouldn't interact with on campus. So there's no university honors program dorm, there's no athlete dorm, you're mixed all together. So my freshman year, I was living next to 2 football players, and then on the other side of me, I was living next to 2 dance majors. So it's a really cool experience to watch, my neighbors play on the football field on TV. And then it's also really cool to watch my other neighbors dance at big theaters in downtown Dallas. Every commons has its own, specialty unique event. So the one behind us, Kathy Crow Commons, puts on Crowchella, their home music festival that they bring in student performers, have lots of free food, and show a good time for everyone.
Another special part about the residential commons is our faculty and residents. So there's a professor who lives in your residential commons, and they do their best to make it feel like a home and do a lot of special traditions depending on where they're from and what their specialties are. Like, for example, I lived in Carkle, McIntosh, and my faculty and residence was from Louisiana, and so she'd make us these amazing Sunday night dinners where we got to meet all kinds of people and make new friends in our commons.
As part of that 2-year on-campus living requirement, you are required to get a meal plan. We would like you to be well-fed when you're actually here studying. So we do have 2 dining halls on campus, and the residential commons are never more than about a 5-minute walk from either of them. As part of your meal plan, you get unlimited swipes at either of the dining halls, and then your choice of amount of flex dollars. The dining halls are opened bright and early in the morning, and they go all the way to around 9 o'clock at night, meaning there's no specific hour for meals, so you don't have to worry about missing your meal time. There will be food at the dining halls for you. They always have a great rotating option of all the different varieties of food that you can pick. My favorite meal is fried frog legs at Humphrey Lee. The Friday before we play TCU, our crosstown rivals, we fry their mascot and have it as a snack. It tastes like tough chicken. Definitely recommend trying it out.
We're here from the Dedman Center, and we're going to talk to you about how we stay active on campus.
So where we are now is the Dedman Center for Lifetime Sports. This is our gym on campus, and it is free for all students. Basically anything that you could possibly think of in terms of a gym is what we have here. So obviously we've got our cardio machines, we've got our free weights, we've got all that kind of stuff, anything that you could need. But then also we have a lot of cool fun stuff. Behind us you'll see our rock wall. We do have a rock wall. It's free for students to use. We do have also a tanning pool. We have a 25-yard lap pool. We do offer free classes in things like spin, high intensity interval training, core, all this fun stuff, and it is for all students to use for free. On top of that, we also do have intramural and club sports. Intramurals are a really great way to get involved with your commons community or with just a group of friends. I know some of our more popular intramural sports are flag football, soccer, sand volleyball, and dodgeball. We also do have club sports on campus if you want to take it to the next level. Some of our club sports include, I know we have baseball, we have rugby, we have lacrosse, a lot of crazy cool stuff. I did one stint as member of the rugby team, and I got a little banged up, but it was still a great experience, and I really loved trying it out. Aside from the Dedman Center, SMU does offer a lot of great opportunities to get off campus and still be out.
An example of this is the Outdoor Adventure Center. So through this center, you can either rent equipment and design your own plan for an outdoor activity, such as mountain biking, paddle boards, surfboards, anything of the sort. Or you can go on their pre-organized trips. Like I remember last semester, they took a trip down to Arkansas to do a camping trip and do some whitewater rafting, which was super fun. Also, we have the Katy Trail nearby where you can go on a walk and kind of relax and de-stress. They also have the highest concentration of golden retrievers in Dallas, and so I highly recommend the Katy Trail. Also, Dallas Hall Lawn is the home for a lot of Frisbee games and pickup football games, which is so fun, and it's a great way for students to stay active in a way that's outside of the Dedman Center. So thank you so much. Remember to visit our website for more information, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon on the Hilltop.